Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast. Hello, Shello, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Nellyville, the podcast, the place to be. I'm your host, Chanel number 5, aka Nellyville herself. It is so wonderful to be back again for another kiki, another good time, another catch up, another little dipping in and doing it. It's always a good time. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, make sure you are caught up with Nellyville Reviews, Drag Race. Follow me on all the socials, blah blah blah. Now, I do want to tell this quick little story before we go on to the main hot topics. But this is just has been tickling me all day. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, little Joseph and we live in an apartment now, and or have been. I don't know why I'm saying now, like we just moved here. But anyways, the funny thing is, so earlier today, this morning, there was this dog that was just barking, and I don't know if it's the same dog. I don't know if more people have moved in with dogs. I don't know what's going on, but for the last couple of weeks, I mean, there's just been a lot of barking, and it sounds like it's the same one or two dogs because there is, everybody got a dog. People love their dogs. Everybody up over here got a dog. We might be one of the few people that do not have a dog, but you don't notice them, you don't smell them, you don't hear them. They're very pleasant, very cute, very friendly, all kinds of dogs. But for what reason, for the last couple of weeks, there have been some dogs that have just been hooting and hollering. You know what I'm saying? And so, and look, a couple, maybe, I don't know, maybe like a month ago now, month or two ago, they sent out an email, and they've sent one before, just reminding people to, you know, be mindful of your pets, your dogs barking and blah blah blah. Now, when they sent that out, I was not aware of it. Maybe it was not on my side of the building. Maybe some people complained, in some other part of the building or whatever. Maybe it was just a regular schedule reminder. But it seemed like after that most recent notice of shut your dogs up, don't nobody want to hear all that, it seemed like it picked up. So I don't know if it's because people changed their schedules to maybe, take the dogs out while they feel like most people are at work versus doing it first thing in the morning before they go to work, or when they get off, maybe people are getting, hiring dog sitters or walkers and stuff, and they're coming in to do it, kind of in the middle part of that. I don't know what happened. I don't know if bunch of people change their schedules and now dogs are seeing each other and they barking at each other. I don't know, but or maybe I just became more aware of it because they sent the notice out. You don't pay attention to anything, and then someone points it out, and then that's, you get hyper focused. But anyways, I'm trying to get to the funny part, but it's been like, oh my gosh, like shut it up already. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you just letting the dog bark? So anyway, so this morning we sit down, we try to eat a little breakfast, and this dog is just, and then he's like, oh my gosh, like they have to do something about that dog. I said, man, I know. I said, really, I said all week it's been like this. Joey travels for work, so he's not always here as much as I'm here, and I'm here a lot during the day, but anyways, so we try to ignore it, and then all of a sudden, we sit down, we have a little food. He got up in the middle of eating, and he went over to the window to try to look to see, and I was like, "Was he?" I'm not really saying, I'm like, "Was he?" And then he goes over to the sliding door, and I'm thinking to myself, I know this man ain't about to. And I'm like, well, maybe. I was like, maybe he's just gonna step outside, see, who it is. Maybe he gonna take a note. Maybe he gonna call the office and be like, I don't know. Tell me why this man opened the opened the sliding door and said, "Hey, can you shut that dog down?" He said, "Hey, can you shut that damn dog up?" Man, I was so, and then the dog shut up, which made it even funnier. And then he closed the slide, slid the door back, and came back and sat down, and then kept eating. Like he didn't just go yell at this dog and some lady. I was like, who? I said, did you see the dog? He was like, no. I said, did you see who the owner? He was like, I don't know, it was some lady. I'm sorry that it was some lady, but somebody had to do something. I was like, oh my gosh. But all jokes aside, no, he should you that's not the way to handle. For one, people are crazy. You can't just be yelling people out from the balcony. You can't do that. But at the same time, I do understand the frustration. Nobody's trying to hear that. And like he did what I mean, I was almost to that point a couple days ago. I mean, I would never be so bold, but I guess everybody has their limits. But I think he did what a lot of people wanted to do. I think he took one for the team. I'm so sorry. That was so funny to me. I was like, oh, because just the shock of I couldn't believe it. And the dog was her, 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 and then he going out there and he's hey, and the dog went, bro, bro, he's hey, you shut that damn dog up, man. I was weak, man. And then he just said, and he was like, I'm sorry. He was like, somebody had to do something. And it was just the series of events, but the dog did shut up. So I don't know if the lady went inside or whoever was took the dog inside. The dog just, but look, all jokes aside, if you have a dog and you are in a populated area, you're not out at a park, on a beach, or some kind of open area where, if the dog barks, it's okay. If you are in a community, in a neighborhood, an apartment complex or something, you have to train your dog. You have to correct that behavior. You can't. Have to be really mindful and considerate of other people, because think about people who are trying to have a lot of people work from home and stuff. Think about people who are trying to do their homework, trying to work from home, trying to take care of business, have calls and stuff, trying to record podcasts. I mean, there's been a couple times recently where I'm like, I have to pause, I have to stop. Put it this way, if the Astro Stadium can do a good job about making sure their noise pollution is not bothering me, it should not be that hard for you to get little Fido to be quiet. Like some people like just don't care, and usually those are the same people that like let their kids run wild. Nobody look, kids are gonna cry, dogs are gonna bark. I understand all that. Fish gotta swim. But the issue is that it's okay sometimes if it happens every now and then. But like when it's a perpetual thing, when your dogs and your pets and your children, not to categorize children and pets in the same thing. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But when you just make a habit out of just letting them carry on with total disregard to how other people are feeling about it, like that's crazy. And I really feel like after COVID, people just have really there's no spatial awareness, there's no social awareness. Everyone's just kind of in their own bubble and kind of like, if it's not bothering me, I don't care if it's bothering. It's not even that they don't care that it's bothering anybody else. It's that they don't even it doesn't even register that this could be a problem. But my thing is, if the complex is sending out an email to remind people, then probably somebody probably complained and said something. But I know if I have a dog or if I have something and the complex sense has something that directly pertains to something that I have or something that I do, I'm gonna make sure like, okay, I don't want to be that person. And how easy was it? That dog didn't know Joey from Adam. Probably didn't even see where the voice was coming from. But that one little that snap, hey, you shut that damn dog up or whatever he said. It worked. And if some stranger can have more of an alpha control over your dog then you maybe you don't need to have a dog. You have to put your foot down. Like Joey said, give him a treat or something. Obviously, he needs a tick. Give him something. Yeah, man, that's not cool. Let's not make that a habit. Some people just I don't know, but I was like, man, you know how frustrated you got to be to go open a sliding door and yell out the door like that. Man, that was funny. And then he just sat down and continued eating, and I just was like, damn, this Negro is crazy. Why would you yell at that dog like? But we all wanted to do it, so I couldn't even be mad. I couldn't even be mad. I'm glad that you know it could have really been ugly. Like I said, man, you got to be careful. And I'm glad that he didn't nobody try to run up here and knock my man down and so I'm glad wasn't nobody like, man, who you talking to, bro? Woo, woo. I don't know. I mean, you never know. You can't just be going around yelling at people. But damn, that was funny. Now, speaking of people getting knocked down, did y'all see the video of Mr. Scissor Bro Brooks getting knocked down? Oh my gosh. That was so Oh, that was so funny. Mistress is okay, but there's this video. If you got a moment, please look it up. Or I will send you the link. So Mistress is out somewhere doing the little videos that she does, and the video I saw was like from overhead, so it looked like somebody was like speaking of balconies. It looked like somebody was up on the balcony and they're filming Mistress filming her videos, and then there's like a crowd of people and they're like or whatever. And so somebody who's standing next to Mistress, somebody runs up on that person, and that person, man, came running from way across the room, knocked the person that was next to Mistress, and that the person who the attacker hit that person so hard and made that person fall and flung that person into Mistress. And Mistress, baby, Tabitha took a tumble because, oh my gosh, just wig flying all the way to security trying to and then it looked like when Mister jumped up too quick, just started swinging on it. It was, man, when I say it was like just a straight up Raven Baxter Medea type fall, like it was crazy. I was like, why you I was like, damn, wrong. Talk about wrong place, wrong time. I don't know why them people was fighting, but do you know how hard somebody has to hit you to make you knock down the person next to you? I don't know what that person did, but they did it. Cause to have that much for man, oh gosh, that was funny. Now the next thing I want to talk about, I really don't have a segue into this, but I was just thinking, what happened to the boy bands? And I guess the girl groups too, but what happened to the boy bands? I don't think we've ever gone this long without a boy band, right? I feel like after BTS, really after One Direction, but really after BTS really was the final one. And they stopped making music. Gosh, let me see. BTS last. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think, oh, gosh, maybe 2023. Yeah, so I don't I I don't think we've ever gone now given it hasn't been too long. And I really it might have been before 2030, honestly. I don't know, but I just feel like this is not okay in pop culture as a society. I think that is very, very wrong. We've always had the boy band. We've had the Beatles. We had Jackson 5. We had NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Blackstreet, Jagged Edge, Drew Hill. Like, I mean, obviously I'm naming some R&B groups, but even still, where do we have R&B guy groups? The Boys to Men? No. No one's interested. Y'all really said we have One Direction and we can't take no more heartbreak. Is that what has happened? It's just very strange that and like no one's concerned. But yeah, also the girl groups. Where are the TLCs? Where's the dream? Where's the like? Hello? Is no one else is concerned? No, just me. I don't know. It's a sad day that the youth do not. They don't have these pop groups, these R&B groups to look up to. People arguing about who has the most talent, which one has your favorite look, who's the problematic one. The different, like, I don't know. I feel like it is a crucial part of development that people should have. The youth is just being deprived of too much. And as grown people as well. I mean, what R&B groups? I don't really listen to R&B like that, but but most of the time when I do, it's a group. I like a group. What happened to, the players? Pretty Ricky. No? Okay. I mean, I just thought I'd bring it up. If y'all know somebody, put me on something. Cause this is unacceptable. Yikes. I'm just saying. Now, this last thing that I want to talk about, speaking of people being taken down, y'all heard the latest crazy about TS Madison, right? Now, I don't know why you people want to keep coming after TS Madison, knowing that woman don't play no games. So, if you have not heard the latest greatest, there is this content creator, this person, TikTok YouTuber, goes by the name DL Whisperer. And his whole thing is supposed to be about helping women to identify DL men or blah 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 whatever, right? Well, something that look, I don't really keep up with the DL Whisperer. That's not really somebody who's really fallen into my wheelhouse or my radar or whatever. But from what I gather, it seems like maybe this person may have had good intentions in the beginning about creating a community for women to be able to share their experience about their encounters with DL men and what signs to look out for and how to handle blah blah blah. But it eventually turned into just a space for women to be openly homophobic, transphobic, and just a community of people who bashed not only gay men, be it closeted or otherwise, but also just to bash trans women and just get the community as a whole. It just turned into a bashing fest. Anyway, so fast forward to this DL Whisperer guy started stalking quite literally stalking TS Madison. And make long story short, TS Madison was like, you gonna get enough of not only having my name in your mouth, but you're gonna have enough of threatening me and I got something for you. I don't fight in the streets. I fight with lawyers. And baby, the DL Whisper, I guess thought she was playing. Guess thought she was, cut to her. DL Whisper is locked up in jail without the bail. Bond denied. Will be in jail until they get a court hearing, which could probably take months. And judging off of the charges, is looking at 10 plus years, 12 plus years, maybe even 25. I don't know. I think it was at least 10. Now I might be doing too much with 25, but I think it was like 10, 12 years of, so it's one thing to talk your stuff and do the most and be performative and be a grifter and spread hate or whatever on the internet, but when you take that stuff into the real world, oh, y'all gotta stop playing. Look, I don't know how old the DI Whisper is, but they look to be pretty young. I'm gonna put them in their 20s. I'm not exactly sure, but TS Madison is a grown woman. TS Madison is like almost 50. Let me see. How old is T.S. Madison? T.S. Madison. 48. Yeah, T.S. Madison's 48 years old. This is not some little child that you just gonna be bullying and y'all gonna have this back and forth on the internet. That's not what's about to happen here. And the D.I. Whisperer calling himself want to ride past Maddie's house, threatening to unalive her and do all like for what? And if you're not familiar with T.S. Madison, T.S. Madison is a trans woman, has been trans for gosh, fully transitioned for gosh, forever now, for a very long time. And this person, for what reason, just hyper fixated on T.S. Madison and want to call her all types of man and musty Maddie and do it like you could call somebody some name. You look, if you don't like trans people's whatever. The gag is that this DL Whisperer guy, I don't know how he identifies. I don't know, but I I assume that he is out as gay. I don't know. I mean he's very, I don't know. It seems like the call is coming from inside the house. If y'all see what I'm saying? Like it just seems like he has a lot of hate and disdain for a community that you are a part of, that is marginalized, that is very unsafe. And you want to go out here and out and all these men, out and men who aren't even actually DL. What are you doing? You can't go around accusing people of like, what are you? And then another rumor on the street was that because the DL Whisper tried to, I guess, start a GoFundMe for something. I don't know if it was for legal, to deal with the legal stuff or whatever for bond or whatever, but somebody said that he was just going to use that money to transition, which would be crazy because your whole platform is about bashing trans women, and just for you to go, I don't know. I didn't check the legitimacy of that claim, but it don't pay. What you put out into the universe is what you get back. And you go around and you're spreading this hate and you're threatening people, you're riding past people's houses. Now, TS had already got a restraining order on this person, and that's what led to the arrest. So TS got a restraining order on this person, and the DL Whisperer continued to harass and stalk. I don't know if it continued to be something of driving past our house or if it was just online, but in the state of Georgia where they are, you it is very clear in the type of restraining order that was filed, it says not even online. You cannot communicate or interact with this person directly or indirectly in any way, be it on the phone, in person, social media, none of that. And the plot thickens. Apparently, Dia Whisper has already had charges for stalking and domestic violence because, at least with one other woman, he got into an altercation with a woman over her husband who was a DL man. And then so there's charges going back from 2019. It was like from 2019, 2020, 23, 25. Like, this is a pattern. Now, all those other charges, I don't know if they're all different people or if it was all from that one wife. But obviously, this is a hurt person. Some DL man hurt you, and that's wrong. Don't be out here DL, which, you know, it's hard to tell people not to look. It's not nothing wrong with living a private life. But when your private life includes you cheating on someone and not letting someone, like, that has nothing to do whether you cheating with a woman or cheating with a man. You just, like, if you want to be out here in these gay streets, be out here in these gay streets. But don't go get the wife and the kids in the picket fence or pretend like that's not what the tea is. Now, if y'all have an open relationship, open marriage, that's a different story. But also, look, these men, especially black men and brown men, feel like they cannot be openly gay because there is so much stigma in the black community. And that's how we end up with cult followings like the DL Whisper and his little fans of people who like to get together and openly bash gay and trans people. And they all wonder why all these men want to be a DL. Well, because you call them all kinds of names, you make them feel less than you talk about them like dogs. But look, it goes both ways. A lot of people will be like, a lot of black women like, well, I'm not homophobic. I love gay men. That's so fun. We key. I love drag race. I da 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 da. But then let them go on a date with a bi man who the openly will tell them, yeah, I'm bi or I'm pan or whatever. I like all genders. I like both. Whatever. Then you want to sit up here and dog them. You can't have it both ways. Now, some women didn't start out homophobic or nothing. They just, they were in a relationship with a man and they end up being DL, and then, they attach that stigma to men because of just that one bad experience or something. But everybody need to be honest, and we got to work on this homophobia in the community. It's crazy. And all this little beef and argument stuff y'all do online and y'all want to take it in public, you can't be doing that. And apparently, the Whisperer didn't live close to TS Madison. It seemed like he drove some hours just to ride past her house and yell some stuff. That's crazy. You need to go get you some therapy, man. You hurt, and I don't blame you. But when people really hurt you like that, and you don't seek treatment for that, you don't seek healing, you end up doing stuff like driving in your car hours to go yell at somebody that you just know parasocially on the internet. Now, I hate that another black man ended up in jail over this, and I hope that his history of being a DL man exposer is not something that's going to get him, dealt with in the jailhouse. But we all have consequences. There's nothing funny about this situation. It's very sad. I don't blame TS Madison, man, because you can't just say, oh, somebody's doing this for a video. Oh, he just rolled past my house. To he wouldn't actually do something. It's not that serious, man. I don't put nothing past nobody. So some people might be like, oh, TS is doing too much, getting this person arrested and all. I don't think so. You don't know what anybody's capable of. And they don't care about trans women, especially black trans women. That is like one of the most unsafe things you can be, especially in today's climate. So it's just really sad. I'm gonna need people to go to therapy, seek some help. Because, ooh, child, the ghetto. People get caught up in the internet world and then get hit with real life consequences. I'm just like, can you imagine being in jail? Can you can you imagine having the possibility of going to prison for 10 plus years because you cannot help yourself in bullying and stalking someone all over the internet? And it's one thing to be sitting somewhere waiting on your court date, or like at home or with your family or something. But this person is sitting in jail. You like there's no there's no bond set. So the DL Whisperer just has to sit there in jail until he even gets the court date to even find out like what charges are gonna stick, what the sentencing is gonna be like, and it could be weeks. Imagine sitting in jail for weeks, maybe even a month or two, and just being like, dang, either I'm about to get out or this might be the beginning of a long road. Because you done let some people on the internet pump your head up. That's deep. And then you think about TS Madison, it's like, if something happened to the young man, even though the DL was brought this on themselves, if something happens where life really gets rough, people get depressed and they do things, and or he might get beat up or something in the penitentiary, and then you got that on your conscience. And I've been listening and engaging with TS Madison for quite some time now, and she's a woman about her business, but she's got a big heart, and I'm sure she wouldn't, but it's just really, gosh, people, you gotta stop being hateful. That's really what it is. All this homophobia, transphobia, racism, all of it, it's gotta stop. It's just gotta stop. People are getting blinded by it. Hate is a very strong thing, man. It will blind. People talk about love is blind, man. Hate is Jesus Christ. Woo. Anyway, so I'm glad that TS is safe. I'm glad that she took the threats seriously and did what needed to be done. Hopefully, this will be a wake up call for the Whisperer, and he will go seek the therapy that he clearly needs, the healing that he clearly desperately needs, and we will get a positive update out of this, and you know maybe wake it up a little bit in the black community. But anyhow, that is all that I have for you guys today. We gonna keep it short and sweet, cute over here, because I want y'all to really go sit and ponder and think about some things, and most importantly, think about why the hell we don't have any boy bands? That's really the big question of the day. Really. So anyways, Let me know who your favorite boy bands. I'm gonna go dig them up. If there's any boy bands or girl groups that y'all want to share with me, put me on game. I'm open. And yeah, I think it's about. I think that's about it. Now there is this one girl that I recently stumbled across. Shout out Ricky Thompson, kind of put me on to this girl because he was doing a song on a TikTok. He was like rapping this song or whatever, and I was like, "Dang, who is that? That sound." So I looked the little girl up. Man, let me tell you, something. I ain't gonna call little girl. I don't know how old she is. Everybody's little girl, little boy to me. I'm just. It is what it is. I'm sorry, but Earth sign Chels. Okay, the little girl's name is Chelsea. Earth sign Chels. I don't know, y'all. She's a rapper. I don't know if she also sings. The songs that I heard she was rapping. And let me tell you something. She's different. Now, I know I've been coming on here and I'm like, "Oh, people telling I think this is somebody